what I use is this Skin Nutritions. It's the Age Defiant. And what I do is I take this, and I take one of these, and I just basically, I go all around my entire eye. That way it doesn't leak. You want to put the lid back on it. And you take this and you just basically, you rub it in like so. And this stuff, you can get it at the Dollar Tree and it works just as good. That's where I got mine. And I also got these little cosmetic things from the dollar store as well. So then I take my Neutrogena stuff that I get. It's a liquid foundation, and it's not very thick, which is good because it won't clog all your pores. So what I do is, just a little at a time, I take it and I dab it on my finger, and I just take it and I smear it in on my head. I like to start at the forehead because then I don't have to worry about, you know, getting up there and making sure that everything is even toned. I kind of measure it out from there. And I just keep putting dabs on my finger. And I just, you know, carefully, I smear it on there. I smear it all over my face. I guess I just keep putting dabs on it and on your finger and rub it all in like this. You want to make sure that it's got like an even blend. I have to use Classic Ivory for my pale complexion. But that's the good thing about being redhead. I have a very perfect complexion. And you take the residue from your fingers from when you dab this on there and just smear it on your tops of your eyelids. And if you get the stuff in your eye, it really stings. And just, you know, get it all. Don't cake it on there, but you don't want it to be unevenly spread out. So then I have a Neutrogena Minerals Sheer Powder Foundation Compact. It's also the classic, you know, light ivory. And I take a brush about this size. And what I do is I just blend it very carefully on my skin, make sure it's all even. Because if it's not, you're going to have blotchy spots and it's going to look horrible. So you take this and you just kind of rub it all in on your face and on your head. You want to make sure, like I said, it's all on there evenly, so that way you don't have spots where you're pale and spots where you're not. Because if you can see, I have a lot of redness on my face. And it's not from the lamp, but I suffer a lot with uneven skin complexion, so this stuff really helps. And just carefully and evenly put it all evenly on your face. I don't like to put the goopy stuff like under here, because that's where a lot of my acne breaks out. So when I'm done with that, I put it, you know, away. And I take my Almay Purple eyeshadow. It looks like this. And I take a brush like this, and I, you know, get a lot of that light purple on there. And I have a little portable mirror because I don't use the big mirror that often. And what I do is I take this and I evenly glide and apply this light purple color on my face. And then when I get the powder, excess powder from the eyeshadow, I just take this brush that I used for this, and I carefully remove excess eyeshadow with this. And you want to make sure it's even on both eyes. And this purple is very, very light for girls like myself with a very, very light complexion. And you just take it and you evenly make sure it's all spread out on there. And the only two shades of purple that I do use are this light one here on the very, very top, as you can see with all the metal coming out, and this other shade right here. Because this purple right here is just too dark for my complexion, so I don't use it. Even if I were to do it to the lightest extent, it would still be too dark. So then I make sure that this brush is all cleaned off, because you don't want to mix colors if you can help it. And I take this brush, same brush that I used for the light purple, and I just gently glide and I blow for excess powder, because this is probably the hardest part, is blending it in. And again, I take the same mirror and evenly spread that other purple. And the same thing for the other eye. Again, this is it's almost as dark as that other purple for girls with my shade of skin color. And I just evenly apply to my eyelid for the eyeshadow. Get a little more as needed. And just lightly apply it. And if it's not even on the other eye, you want to make sure it's even on the other eye. Make sure this brush is clean again, and go back for just a little more of the light purple that I started with to kind of lighten up that dark purple. Just take it very lightly and apply to the eyelid where you applied the other two shades of purple. And there again, clean off your brush of any excess eyeshadow. And I'm going to take this brush and just gently remove any excess powder. And then I take my middle finger and I rub in the eyeshadow that's on my eye. Just make sure it's all evenly and lightly blended into your skin. And then I have Wet n Wild Mega Liner, as you can see. It's a liquid eyeliner. And I don't do where the girls have like this winged eyeliner that comes like way out to here. I don't even do the winged eyeliner at all. Honestly, I don't know how to do it. And so I don't go, from the middle of my eye and work towards the very corner here, because it will clog my tear ducts and it's very painful. And I get what they call a sty. And it's a painful eye infection, clogged tear duct kind of a thing, and I'm very susceptible to them, so I have to be careful. And what I do is I take, again, this little compact mirror, and I try to apply the middle of my eye kind of on the lash line, because I don't want it to just be like this thick black eyeliner on my face, because it'll just make me look trampy. So I take it like this, because I have to go like this on this eye, considering I'm only right-handed. And I take this mirror and I carefully and slowly apply to my eyelid. Very time consuming if you're doing it in a rush. Note to girls at home that rush for a dinner date, don't even try and do this last minute. Like, you guys gotta have it on there quick if you guys are going to a dinner date. Just saying. And then I just go back over it a little bit and make sure it's all even. And then from there I can start working more towards the middle of my eyelid. And again, just apply slowly. Make sure it's all evened out. Because if it's not evened out, you're going to look awful. And I kind of made a goof on my eye, just a little. And so I always have a thing of Q-tips nearby. And I take one and I leave the lid off just in case. And I dab the tip with my tongue. And if it's a very light mistake, it'll come off and you won't mess it up. I hate when you get like all those little mistakes on your eye and you have like all this makeup that you have to redo. So if you're lucky, you have very little to deal with. And what I do is I go back in there and I make sure I have all that excess eyeliner cleaned off, because if I don't, it's just gonna look horrible. And I go to this eye, because as you can see, it's a very, very thin line on this eye. I can barely tell I'm even wearing any at all compared to this eye so far. So again, fine tip eyeliner, very fine tip, compact portable mirror, and I take it, since I'm right-handed now and working on my right eye, I just take it and carefully and skillfully now I'm working towards the middle of my eyelid, and I've noticed that this one is a little thicker than this one. So then I go back over here and I slowly go and fix it. And then because it dried up on the tip, I gotta get more eyeliner on here. And this is a very thick liquid eyeliner, so shaking it up as you go is a good thing to do, because it'll recoat the brush at the same time. It's a sponge brush. It's not like one of those hairy like little eyeliner brushes. It's not like one of these kinds of like brushes with a thinner tip. It's just a sponge brush. And I take this and I go and I fix what's messed up here on this eye. and then slowly work towards kind of in the inner parts of my eye. Kind of towards this corner of my eye where the tear duct is. And I usually stop with my eyeliner at about here, if you can see it. Here, I'll zoom in. So like here, if you can see it, I usually stop like right here, and I make sure it's like a fine point. So then, pardon my hand being in the way of the lens. So then I have my volumizing Lash Accelerator Endless from Maybelline Rimmel London. It's got these, it's better than the, it's different than the other mascaras where you have like all those little bristles for the brush. This one, it doesn't clump, which is good. And so I take this and I just gently, and if I need my portable mirror, I have it here too. So I open it up, and because I can't see in that mirror, it's too far. And I take my mascara and I carefully, without getting any on my eyelid, I apply a light coating since I don't want my eyelashes to like pop, but pop enough that it makes my eyes stand out. And there you go. And that is my sort of makeup tutorial for girls with pale color. Pardon me, I'm fixing my hair. I had to pull it back in my hat so I could do this. So for the girls that have a light color, who are pale and a redhead like me, the makeup tutorial that I presented you with today is supposed to be something light for pale girls like myself. I know that there are like many of us out there. It's natural and it's not caking stuff on your face, which is good. Acne reduces and whatnot. I personally sleep with my makeup on. It's not really good for your skin. But if I'm too lazy after like everything, I just go to bed and I forget to take it off. But remember to take your makeup off. And I hope this tutorial helped out the girls that struggle with their makeup. A lot of us, when we get makeup, I know we don't have a perfect complexion, and so it's really hard to like find the colors that we need for our complexion. Some of us are blessed with that complexion. I was, fortunately. I had a former friend that was like really jealous of my complexion because it's so perfect. So try to find something that's close to your skin tone when you're really, really pale like myself. And, you know, if you're pale like me, get the classic lightest ivory that you can.